I'm with Rebecca and Mr. Buzz. We're talking about a walking tour. Now, how many years has this been taking place, Buzz?
We're redoing it. They did it 15 years ago.
Okay.
And it didn't catch on quite as well as it could. So we're going in an entirely different approach. What they did earlier was different, for a different purpose. It was for the school children. So the people coming through this audience had to be in a small group, you know,
To be able to go
and
through.
they had to have a tour guide or chaperone or guard or whatever you want to go. And so whoever's given the program, they had 3 to 5 minutes to do their bit and then on to the next one. And that was fine for the kids, but when we opened it to the public that evening, it just didn't go very well.
Didn't have a good flow, did it?
Didn't have a flow at all.
Yeah.
And Jackie Reeves over in Huntsville been on my case for several years for us to do it the way Maple Hill does.
It's beautiful.
And Athens, she keeps saying Athens has such a beautiful cemetery, we need to be doing it. So she finally talked me into going and watching what they do, and theirs, I call it free range. You've got your stations, and you just go to whichever one you want, stay as long as you want, till that person's exhausted their knowledge or whatever, and skip one. And when I went last year, they had 75 actors. When we did it earlier here, we had 12.
Okay.
But the big thing is they had around 2,000 people in there. And
It's a huge event at Maple Hills.
We've never had more than about 150, 125.
How do we fix that? How do we fix that?
Well, we're copying the way they're doing it.
Okay, so it's going to be great. So if you miss Maple Hill, you can come to Athens.
Well,
Oh, ours will be better.
we have more interesting characters than they do. They have more fame.
What will people learn when they listen to these characters?
You want to tell them your little bit?
Well,
What do you do,
know,
Rebecca?
the way we're kind of doing it is sort of, I think of it as like a meet and greet.
Okay.
You know, you're coming in as the character, and so like, for example, mine is Dima McWilliams, who's actually buried in New Garden Cemetery, but she's there visiting her son and daughter-in-law, so it's close enough. But you know, she was the third wife of William McWilliams, and yes, this was a real guy's name, but she, I don't know, to me she was just kind of a spitfire. I like this lady, Dima. I've never heard of anybody named Dima ever. But I mean, she did what most of us would do who were just regular folks. She wasn't a soldier or anything like that, who were just regular folks trying to survive in a tough time. She did what it took to survive, even if it meant making a deal with the Yankees, and that's what she did. There was a Yankee soldier.
Well, now, wait a minute. Wait just a minute.
Don't get into it up here, the two of you.
Well, Jamie was talking about the congressman who couldn't use...
Oh, wait, am I supposed to say union?
No, I was just going to say that...
Buzz will steal the whole show, the rest of it.
Robert E. Lee was such a gentleman. He would never use the Y word. He referred to them as those people.
Those people. So somehow that seems worse.
It does,
doesn't it? So anyways, but yeah, there was a guy, there was a union, one of those people was guarding a bridge close to her house. And so she said, she made a deal with him. She said, if you will kind of protect our plantation up there towards Elmont, then I'll warn you if anybody's coming. And so that's what they did. And when the Yankees came, he locked himself up in the bridge house until they left. And but they found him down in there and took him prisoner. But he said, okay, I have one last request before you take me prisoner of war. Will you please just let me go by the McWilliams house and tell Dima thank you? And so they did. And so he stopped in, ate dinner with her, and said, you know, thanks for letting me know. Thanks for sounding the warning. And so they made it through the war okay. They had lots of their stuff taken, hogs and mules and horses and everything, but they made it through there okay. And actually, their sons went on to be really well-known folks here in Limestone County. So,
so you're going to learn a lot of history.
Yeah. And some fascinating characters. We even have one who's one of those people, and his great-great-grandson is portraying him, who lives in Limestone County. We have 5 different people that are portraying their ancestors. So they know some of the family history that's not in the history books.
Right.
And I anticipate just really having a great time. Last thing that came in, we have Leland Free, who is he's not the best singer in the world, but he's got a good voice. Well, the main
We've got a lot of them on the show.
If you ever have a varmint problem here, call me.
Okay.
When will the walking tour take place?
Thank you. Sunday.
Okay,
From
this
2
Sunday.
to 4. And there's a confusion there. The chamber sent out, the tourism office sent out the notice it's 2 to 5.
Okay.
And all the actors have been 2 to 4, told 2 to 4. So we'll go 2 to 4 for sure. And
It could possibly go a little longer.
wait, the weather forecast, we can probably go 5, no problem at all. But what I was saying about Leland, he knows a whole list of songs,
Okay.
and he's very good at that.
Well, great.
Why don't you get him up here singing? Why don't you get him up here singing one day?
If you want him, I can call
All
him.
right, I want to stay on kind of the same subject, but change it a little bit. There's a Dear Abby article, and I was going to save this for tomorrow, but I'm going to go since y'all are up here today talking about cemeteries. It says, Dear Abby, we don't have this to show you, but I'm going to read it here. It says, I'm so glad you addressed the subject of proper etiquette in cemeteries. This is becoming a problem across the nation, especially at Maple Hill. The cemetery where my family members are buried had become a playground for the neighbors of the area. When I visit, I see people walking their dogs on and off leashes, even though there's a signs that say no dogs allowed. Children are bicycling, rollerblading, skateboarding, along with joggers and walkers. I come to the cemetery to visit my lost loved ones and tend to their graves. I find it disgusting and disturbing that these folks are using our sacred place for their personal pleasures. Thank you so much for your wisdom on the matter. And it goes on, the other people are talking about it, how dog walkers were given permission to walk around their dogs there. It's disrespectful. People going out there at night, drinking in cemeteries and stuff like that. What is y'all's observation on stuff like this? And this is becoming a common problem.
No, seriously, as somebody who, number one, loves to jog in downtown Athens, and number two, has my great-great-great-grandparents buried in Athens City Cemetery, I love to jog through the cemetery. It's one of the nicest places to go. It's peaceful, it's beautiful, and to me...
You can visit while you're there.
That's right. Hey, Grandma. And but you know, to me, I feel like I don't feel like it's disrespectful. I almost feel like it's honoring the place
It's just a matter of the way you behave when you're there.
Good
Yeah,
point.
I don't go drink and make out behind a tombstone.
Well,
just so
That wasn't you? We had a camera set up over there.
Really?
Busted.
Catherine Tucker Wyndham,
All right, and just passed away.
Yeah.
the nation's greatest storyteller.
Right.
Cemeteries were her favorite place. She'd go out there and have she never said she had lunch, she had dinner. But she would go out and have dinner in the cemetery. It's a quiet piece. She said, so many of my friends are here that I can visit.
Well, and that's the whole thing, too. You know, since I've started working at the archives, you talking about characters in Limestone County, we haven't even scratched the surface with the cemetery world.
No.
There are so many amazing people who lived and died here in Limestone County. And so many of the people there... I think if they were around today, they would be like, come on, come visit. Because because there are so many, I don't know. I just think that you can't look at the cemetery as just a bunch of stones with bones. I mean, it's the
Stones and bones, that's good.
Yeah.
Haven't heard that.
I mean, there's people.
Told
It's
you not to
people
get me
who
started.
really live.
Now, there's one thing that they do say that a 4-year-old child got killed while climbing on a headstone. Do not let... Is it okay to walk on people's graves? You know, it used to be... Don't walk on the
Well, you
grave.
know when you get that chill that you can't describe, that's somebody walking on your grave in the future. Have you ever heard that?
I've heard it, but
Yeah.
it never happened to me.
You don't ever get just this indescribable
I
chill?
always get that in the winter only.
Quiver.
Again,
Maybe you're not wearing your wool.
what is your job again?
I'm the archivist at the Limestone County Archives.
How
She
you
wakes
pronounce
everyone up in the morning.
Archivist. You can say archivist. It's okay.
That's what
That's the
I know.
redneck way.
Yeah. Well, that's me to a T.
That's him.
In a nutshell, we preserve and share Limestone County's history. That's my mission in a nutshell.
You preach it to the choir. You know how much video I've got on Limestone County since
Well,
the
maybe
70s?
you need to donate it to the archives, Jamie.
Yes, he does.
The Jamie
I don't like
Cooper.
donating.
No, wait,
I like the sound of what's coming up. Go ahead.
we like the Jamie and Gloria Cooper collection.
You know, we're starting the Country Over Museum in the bathroom back here. We had to put it off till first of the year because we had to go digital.
Yeah, y'all need to come see us. We're down at the old depot.
All right.
No
It's a
more
beautiful
sun drop
place.
for you today.
Yeah,
okay?
you get too cranked up, but I like that. Somebody keep up with me. Anything else, fellas? I got to go. I got to take a
Very
break. I got to
quickly.
make some money. I would be running your commercial, but you ain't paying yet.
Not yet. You need to go by the archives because Rebecca has changed it completely.
And April.
Now, where's your... Are you talking
The
about
old train
building you're
station.
talking about?
It's the old L&N passenger depot, the green building right across from
I didn't even know that building had electricity in it.
What do you need electricity for?
Where have you been?
There's no
I've never been in that
Gloria,
building.
straighten out your man.
I've never been out there.
If you have,
She'll get her chance later today.
if you have trouble finding it, Jamie, it's right across the street from my place.
Right, close your Yeah, okay.
We're actually right behind the Center for Lifelong Learning.
We'll talk with them in just a second.
There
How do you like that segue?
Thank you very much.
Very
We got to take a
good.
break. Got to.
Co-host when I want to sleep in.
Y'all
That's
hang on. We'll be right back.